Hello, hello, hello. Come on into the webinar. My name is Linda Peavy, and I am going to be your host for this evening where, yes, we are going to talk about how you can still get grants, even for your woman-owned business or your woman-led nonprofit. So as you come in, say hello to me. I am in the land, not too far from Cleveland, Ohio, where I'm not complaining because it is a nice and warm, 73 degrees. So give that city and that state a shout out as you come in. Hello, Shaquelle. Kimberly, let me know where you're coming in from. Pamela is coming in from Chi-Town. And hello, Chiffon from our state's capital, Columbus. I'm in Columbus all the time. Hello, Kimberly from Florence, South Carolina. And let's see. Shaquelle, where are you coming in from? And Cassandra's coming in from Brooklyn, New York, is in the house. And Houston, Texas. And Pamela, I know where Cortland is. Pamela is coming in from Cortland, Ohio. I know where Cortland is. All right. Say hello to me as you come in. As you come in, say hello to me. And let me know where you're coming in from. I'm so glad you decided to hop on because I have a really important webinar for you tonight. I need to be able to share this information with you, and hopefully you will share it with others because there's really good news about grants. There's been so much bad news, but I'm here to let you know that yes, you can cut through all of the chaos and still get grants. Yes, I'm going to show you how. Hello, Selena from Clarksville, Tennessee. Jocelyn's from Xenia. I know where Xenia, Ohio is. And Pamela, happy belated Mother's Day all. Thank you so much, Pamela. Happy belated Mother's Day to you as well. And Christina from Indianapolis. Indianapolis is really just our neighbors, like right to the west. And Latanya from the Bama, from Birmingham, Alabama, has shown up. All right, all right. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Again, I'm here to really show you how, even through the chaos, you can still get grants. This is very important information that I want you to ingest, but also share with your colleagues and share with other people that you know so that they understand grants are very much still available. I'm going to show you how you like navigate around all of these cuts to still get grants. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. And as I always say, when I hit this share screen button, it's like, come through technology, come through. All right, it is looking good. It is looking good. There we go. All right. So let me make sure everybody's in the right place. This is grant writing for women-owned businesses and women-led nonprofits. And this is my 7 o'clock session. We had such a good time at noon, a lot of like really great questions at noon. And I know we're going to have a good time tonight. All right, so let me give you some info about my background. Yes, they call me the Grants Queen because I've secured, now it's almost $18 million in grants and development. Now, this is year 17 of me owning my company, LaPav Consulting, and my undergrad and graduate degrees are from the University of Akron. Go Zips, go Zips. And I do give grant writing workshops all over the country. I teach grant writing. I am a grant writing expert and instructor. I teach for some private organizations, some major organizations that you probably heard of, from the Urban League to Goldman Sachs, where I am a proud alumnus of their Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. And I have a business, yes, but I used to lead a nonprofit. So I know how it is from both sides of the coin. So let me know who is here with me. Let me know in the chat, are you a for-profit, meaning you could be a sole proprietor or an LLC or partnership? So let me know if you are a small business, meaning you are a for-profit, or maybe you are a nonprofit, or maybe you're both. Because I'm finding that a lot of for-profits are starting nonprofits. So let me know who is here with me in the chat. Nonprofit. Small business startup. Excellent, excellent. So you're in the right place because I'm here to share with you that yes, there's grant money for you as a nonprofit or a small business. So there are grants for both. So you are absolutely in the right place. Oh, and I see a both. I see Small Business LLC. Now, let me just share with you how I got here, because I didn't always used to be a grant expert. I was a publishing executive in Pennsylvania, and I got hurt. When I got hurt, I had to move back home to Cleveland. Literally went from like flying all over the world with this fantastic position to putting everything I owned in a storage unit in Cleveland, Ohio, excuse me, and moving in with my sister because I was very injured, literally came home in a wheelchair. I was with her for 4 years, and it took me 2 years to even get to the point where I could work again. And I know how it feels to just literally start from nothing, just start from nothing. But it's been 17 years now since I started that company, and I have not looked back. Now, when I was well again and I was able to work, I couldn't find a job. I was in Cleveland. My experience was in publishing. Cleveland is not the publishing mecca of the United States. So I couldn't find a job. That's when I started LaPaul Consulting. One of my first contracted positions was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. And I have to tell you, I don't think I was there maybe 2 weeks before all of a sudden I was called into the board of directors office and told that I had to write a grant that would pay for my salary. Now, can you imagine the pressure? I had never seen a grant before, had never seen a grant before, had no knowledge of grants. And now I'm being told to write one to save my job. But you know what? I did it. I researched, I wrote that grant. I won that grant. It saved my job. It saved the organization. And I realized that you can absolutely not just write, you can win grants with no experience. I'm going to show you how as we move through, right? But also it taught me what you can do with grant money, because I hear from you. I know you are tired of using all of your own money to fund this dream that you have, whether it's to open a nonprofit or to start your business, right? That's why we need grant money, because grant money is somebody else's money that you use, right? It comes to you free. And also you can use grant money to hire help, right? Are you tired of wearing all 20 hats in your organization? You can use grant money to get yourself some support, right? So that you make it through this intact. All right. That's why Pamela says, I am tired of begging. I get it. I'm going to show you the strategic way to beg. Okay. Strategically. All right. And I hear you. I hear you, Shafan. Shafan says, I am definitely tired. Okay. I get it. I have been there. I have totally been there. That's why we're going to talk today about what do you do to get through? Like, what do you do to get through this maze that has been put in front of you, right? These hurdles, especially as women, they're just throwing up roadblocks everywhere, everywhere. I'm going to teach you how to jump over them today. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about what is going on with grants and how you get around these roadblocks. And then how do you prepare? You must be grant ready, right? What do you write in that application? How do you write the application so that funders are attractive to you? All right. And then how do you conduct the grant research so that you are finding the organizations that still want to give you, as a woman-led organization, grant money? And then don't go anywhere, because we're going to do a thorough Q&A. Drop your questions in either the Q&A box or the chat. I have a bonus surprise at the end, and I even have a list of grants for you as women so that you understand, yes, there are grants available. All right, regardless of what you are seeing on TV. All right. Now, why are we here? We are here because we as women leaders, we need access to funding. And guess what? It shouldn't always be about loans. Are you as tired as I am of hearing about loans? We want grant money, because grant money, you don't pay back. And let me say this to you. You can do this. You can write these grants. Grant writing is not what it used to be. You're not sitting in some corner writing some 500-page document for like 3 hours at a time. right? 3 months at a time, rather. So a lot longer than that, 3 months at a time. A lot of these applications are literally 2 and 3 pages, 2 and 3 pages, because foundations, they don't have the personnel any longer to read through a 500-page grant application. I know that's exactly what I used to do. I used to submit hundreds of pages of grant applications, right? That time has gone. But let me say this to you, you must know there's a process to winning. That's what I've learned after having secured almost $18 million in grants, having won that amount of money. Oh, there's a process. And that is what I'm going to show you tonight. Now, let's talk about what is going on with grants. And this is what I need for you to know, because this is where the misinformation starts. And this is where I wanted to end. Federal grants do not equal all grants. Yes, most of the federal grants have been shut down, right? But guess what? I never even talk about federal grants because they're difficult to get. You need significant experience. I discuss private, community, family, and corporate foundation grants. They are still plentiful, and they cover nonprofits and small businesses. So you are covered. But what I want you to do is think about diversifying your funding. Don't put all those eggs in one basket. Don't put all those expensive eggs in one basket. Look beyond grants. Also seek sponsorships, individual donors, corporate contracts. And by the way, even if you are a solopreneur, a contractor, a consultant, a coach, you can get corporate contracts. Will I take a sip? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Now, this is what has happened. There's an opportunity for you right now to get grants. This is what has happened. Because of the federal cuts to grants, people are under the assumption that there are no more grants. You probably heard that. Maybe you thought there weren't any more grants. People are believing this. People are believing that federal grants equal all grants. Grants come from thousands of resources. Therefore, you have fewer people applying for grants. So this means less competition. This means for you, you're going to swoop in here and start applying for this grant money now that you realize that there's grant money available. And here's what's happening. Your local community foundations, your corporate foundations, your family foundations are increasing their funding to try to fill in the gaps created by the federal grants. So as the federal grant money is decreasing, it's your local and corporate and family foundations. They're literally filling in the gaps by increasing their funding. That's why you need to look inward. I need for you to look at your local community foundations and your local corporations to help secure grant money, because they are increasing the dollar amount because they understand what's going on. The need is greater than ever. And now you have federal funding being cut. So they are attempting to fill in this gap. All right. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know that DEI covers women of any ethnicity, right? Communities of color, veterans, the disabled. And so what's happening is that organizations who have traditionally upheld DEI and funded programs that are geared towards Blacks and women and the disabled and veterans, they're not disbanding those programs. They're not changing who they serve. They're changing how they describe who they serve, because they don't want the wrath coming out of the White House. So they're changing that language. It's called quiet DEI. So at the end of the day, you're going to do the same thing if you need to. You may change how you speak to who you serve. You don't change who you serve. But here's the good news. You have some organizations like the Ford Foundation and Kellogg Foundation. They are doubling down on DEI because this is what they've done for, over a century. So they're not affected by what's going on in the White House. Even your newer foundations like Google, Apple, Delta, and Costco, they are absolutely committed to DEI. What are they doing? They're tweaking that language a bit. They're taking out the race and the gender and then putting other coded language so that you understand, right, who they serve, so that they can still give money to communities that they serve, right, without catching the wrath of what's going on in the White House. Now, this is what you're going to do. Now, you're going to tweak this language if you need to. Remember, some organizations are still giving to DEI. Others are tweaking the language, but you may need to tweak yours too. Have the original language always, but you may need to change it this way. So let's say your old program or your program used to state, we offer youth development opportunities for Black boys. That's who you serve. You serve Black boys. You don't change who you serve. Now you're going to tweak that language a bit. Now you're going to say, we provide youth development for historically underserved and underrepresented boys, or serving boys disproportionately impacted by economic and educational inequities. Black boys, right? Quiet DEI. Supporting boys from communities designated as high need or underrepresented in STEM, if that's your program, right? Black boys. You see what I'm doing? Let's say you serve women, and you used to be able to say, well, we provide employment and career coaching for women. Now you may have to tweak that language and say, our program offers workforce development support for those facing systemic barriers to career advancement. Women, right? Providing career development services tailored to those who experience unique workforce challenges due to caregiving responsibilities, wage gaps, and systemic inequities. What are we talking about? Women. I need to make sure you understand this and that you get this, because this is very important for you moving forward. You may have to tweak your language. You don't change who you serve, you tweak this language. Give me a yes in the chat if you understand what I am doing and what you may have to do. You tweak that language. You don't change who you serve. So give me a yes if you understand what I am doing, because this is very important for you moving forward. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be concerned about getting the money. All right. About getting the grant money. All right. Now, we're going to go to some grant basics. What do you need to know? Grants are not paid back. Now, nonprofits and nonprofits only. I saw a question from someone about 501c3s. Only nonprofits are required to have a 501c3. That is your tax-exempt charitable organization designation by the IRS. So if you are a small business or a for-profit, no. You don't have a 501c3. This is just for nonprofits to make sure you are tax-exempt, right? Now, you need this because foundations are requiring that you have your 501c3 as a nonprofit. The good news is that it's only taking maybe 6 to 8 weeks to get it. It used to take 6 months. All right. So get your 501c3. Now I want everybody to look at this next slide. Moving forward, I'm talking to small businesses and nonprofits. Look at this slide. This is U.S. grant annual funding. Latest numbers 2023, $189 billion, billion with a B, given out every year. This is from foundation, corporation, and to a smaller extent, bequest giving. Do you see federal funding anywhere on this slide? No. This money is still available. This is what I want you to understand. The money is available. It's just coming from a different source, not the federal government, right? They have the most difficult grant applications. These are easier. Foundations, corporations, and bequest giving. Look at this number here. I want you to think about $189 billion. Billion would it be? Don't be overwhelmed. Don't think, oh, like Linda, there's no way I can get any of that. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you just need what you need. You just need a little bit of $189 billion. So I want you all right now to put into this chat, because I need you to ingest this. I need you to write, I just need a little bit. Write it. Everybody in the chat, write, I just need a little bit, because you just need what you need. You need a tiny portion of this $189 billion, right? You don't need it all. You just need what you need, right? Pamela, Nicole, you just need a little bit. Cassandra, do you need it all? Latanya, do you need all $189 billion? Selena, will you accept a small slice of this? Because this is a big pie. All right? This is a big pie. So Cassandra, focus on what you need, right? Because what you need is going to amount to just a little bit of $189 billion. This money is being given out every day. Every day. Like, why not put yourself in position to get it? Right? Somebody's going to get it. Somebody's getting this money. Like, why not you? All right. Next, I need for you to become grant ready. So I'm going to be placing you in a better position to actually win grants. right? Because I don't want you writing just a bunch of grants and like it's like throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks. No, this is a framework I am showing you. This is strategic. Get grant ready. Hone in on your writing skills. And I'm not saying you need to be a good writer or a great writer or professional writer. I'm saying you need help, right? We all need help. There's no perfect grant application. If you use Grammarly, Grammarly is a secret weapon. If you use it, give yourself some love in the chat. It is a software editing tool. You download it on your computer when you are writing your Word documents, your emails, your Excel. You use Grammarly, it self-corrects as you write. Why is this important? Because I do not want you submitting grant applications full of grammatical errors. Pamela says, I love it and I need it. That's what I'm talking about. I wouldn't write without it. I'm a professional editor, professional writer, and professional grant writer. I wouldn't write without Grammarly. It self-corrects as you write. Selena says, yes, she loves it. So download Grammarly, people. It's free. It's free. And then download this article, Improve Writing Skills Dramatically by doing these 15 things, right? Make sure you're checking the chat for very important links. Stacy says, Stacia says, I use it all the time at work. I love it. I can't even imagine writing without it. I would never write without it. All right. Now, next, how do you become grant ready? You get your documents in order. So if you're wondering, like, Linda, what is the first step? What do I need to do to start writing these grants? You become grant ready. You get these documents in order. Your EIN, your employer identification number. Nonprofits, you need this 501c3. For-profits, are you a legitimate business? Do you have your articles of incorporation? You may need a state license. Check with your Secretary of State. Now, nonprofits, you know you need a board of directors. Get your list together. For-profits, if you have one, get your list together. Letters of support. Let the foundation know that there are organizations that support you. Where are they coming from? Drop names. Do you know the mayor? Politicians, can they write you a letter? Could be your pastor, could be community leaders. Next, and don't freak out about this, you need an operating budget. Now you can get a template from the internet, but this budget is simply a document where you are estimating what you think your expenses are going to be over the course of a year, because it will also help you to determine how much grant money you need. All right. Now, if you are currently operating, you need your financial documents, your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement if you are currently operating. All right. Now, I'm going to dive into the components of a real grant application and give you best practices as to how you write so that you are telling your story the best. And that is what a grant application is. It is an opportunity for you to tell your story. Now, the first section is the mission statement. Whatever you do, make sure you have a mission. Even if you are a small business, yes, you need one, because your mission is going to lead you to the foundation that wants to give you money. You know why? Because you're going to align your mission to the mission of the foundation. So if you are like laser focused on K through 12 education, make sure your foundation has a love of K through 12 education. And you don't change your mission based on who you're seeking funding from. Your mission doesn't change. All right. So if you don't have one, homework 101. Now, this next slide is where you are going to set yourself apart from everybody else. Grant funding changed about 2 years ago. No longer are they giving to like all these feel-good initiatives. I just want to help the world. I want to help the needy. I want to help the poor. That's fine and well. How are you doing it? Now it's all about impact, showing your impact using real numbers. You have a homeless ministry. How many homeless people have you placed in shelters? You have that online coaching service for career women. How many women are you coaching? You want to open up a restaurant? Maybe you opened it up last year. How many people did you serve? Did you have any community initiatives? Who were impacted? How many people were you able to employ, right? And give jobs to? Real numbers using impact. Let's say you haven't opened. Now you're going to talk about what you hope your impact will be. So let's say you have a tutoring program. You want to tutor middle school kids, right? You can talk about the fact that once they take your tutoring program, you expect them to increase their reading scores by 5%. All right. It's called measurable impact. So impact using real numbers, because at the end of the day, you are writing this application as if you are addressing an issue. It doesn't matter your industry. It doesn't matter that you are for-profit or nonprofit. This is where a lot of small businesses get caught up. You have to almost rethink how you see your organization. And this is the same for all of you. You have to write as if you're addressing a problem or solving a need. Now, let's say you have a restaurant, a bakery, a for-profit, wants to locate downtown, needed a $20,000 grant. You might be thinking, what is the issue? What is the problem? She's making cakes all day. Well, maybe she decided to open up a vegan bakery because vegans don't have a lot of great places, right, to buy baked goods. So she's solving that problem. Or maybe it's all about economic development because she wants to help to revitalize the community by opening up a business there. Whatever that issue is, whether it's economic development or being in the restaurant industry, you need to connect what issue you're solving to the foundation that wants to give you money. Because guess what? You want them to be giving money in the same area. That's why you must know how and where they fund. How do you find out? You go to their websites. The only problem is 90% of foundations don't have a website. That's why you have to be creative in getting information about them. And for the target populations, I've been a business coach for 16 years. When I ask clients, who are you helping? Too often I get, Linda, oh, I help everybody. I have a heart for helping. I just have to help people. And that will get you burnt out every time, right? Because the more you pour on yourself, the more you dilute your program. The more different kinds of targets you try to help, the less effective you will be. The more you niche down, the easier it will be for you to find grants, right? So if you tell me you help veterans, I'm going to ask you, what veterans? Veterans that are homeless, that need shelter, veterans that are suffering from PTSD and need counseling. The more you drill down, the easier it will be for you to get grant money. You should have one, maybe two target populations. One, maybe two. That's it. Now, you all have a decision to make. When you approach a foundation, are you asking for operating grant money or program project grant money? You know, we love to get operating grants because when you get an operating grant, you decide where to put that money. It could go towards IT, your lease, your staff, marketing. You decide. You decide. All right? Now, most of the grant money goes to a particular program or project or service, right? So decide one or the other per foundation. And let's say you have that restaurant and you want to start a delivery service. That could be a service, right, that you want a grant for. But you must apply to multiple foundations. This is absolutely crucial. Why do you think that is? Let me know in the chat. Why do you think it is important to apply to multiple foundations? Multiple foundations. Why do you think that is important? Momentum, yes. Selena, what else? I see some great questions. Keep asking them. What else? Momentum, what else? Why? Keep in mind, this is not a one and done industry. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon to maximize the funding received. Absolutely. You're not going to get every grant, right? So you have to apply to multiple. And by the way, do not be fooled. There's no such thing as guaranteed grant money. This is how you get scammed. So be careful who you're talking to, because I see this on the internet all the time. Guaranteed grant money, apply here, everybody wins, right? Those are very likely scammers. All right. So just be careful. Now, community partnerships are everything. They are going to strengthen your grant application. You need to list them. You need to create them. Like this is crucial. You cannot function without community partners. Now, we're still in tax season. Let's say you have an accounting firm. You want to give a free tax talk every month. Go to your local library. They are fantastic community partners, right? They're going to promote you. That's what they do, right? And by promoting you, what happens? How does that affect your grant application? By promoting you is going to raise your level of visibility, because foundations are always seeking, right, organizations to fund and looking at who's doing what and what organization is doing what in the community. So it increases your level of visibility. And I think libraries are like criminally underutilized. They're such fantastic community partners. But let me make it crystal clear. Let's say a young lady has a reentry program, meaning that she's wanting to help ex-offenders be reacclimated into society so that they don't go back to jail. Now, you know, she has to interview them while they're in jail to make sure they qualify for the program, right? I want you to tell me in the chat, who do you think her community partner should be? She has a reentry program. The program helps ex-offenders to become reacclimated, successful members of the society. Who should she be meeting with? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, who should she be meeting with? She has a reentry program. She needs to be able to talk to the people in jail before they are released. Make sure they qualify. That's right, Selena. Correction officers, absolutely. Pamela, the county jail, right? She's got to get access, right? Could be the warden, right? The mayor, maybe there are programs through the city, the county, other programs, right? Right, exactly, Cassandra. School so that they can get a GED, right? You want them to be educated. Libraries so that they can go and understand where they can get information. Social service groups, because you want them to be placed, right? They need somewhere to live. You don't want them to be homeless, right? Social service agencies can also provide them where to get food, right? The parole board, Sheila, absolutely. The Department of Justice, yes, because you don't know what kind of case they have. And Brandy, workforce development agencies, right? Because they need to learn skills so that they can become gainfully employed. Do you see how we just created probably 12 or 14 partners, right? This is not difficult. This is what I want each and every one of you to do. That's why Cassandra Housing, they have to have a house. Oh, the DMV, never thought about that for the ID, right? This is your homework, all of you. This is what I want you to do. I want you to name 5 partners based on your program or your service or your company or your nonprofit or your small business, right? This is your homework. Name 5, all right? And no, you don't need to have completed the partnership before you can put the information into your application, but you can list them so that the foundation knows that you know the importance of you having community partners. All right, now we're on to the money. This is the budget. This is how you're going to spend the grant money. You need to itemize these expenses, right? You want to hire someone, what is the hourly rate? How many hours are they working a week? How many weeks out of the year? You want supplies, how many supplies do you need? Who's going to use them? The numbers go into the budget. Your description of how you're using the money goes into the budget narrative. Got that? Numbers into the budget, explanation into the budget narrative. And here's a clue. I always include a budget narrative, even if they don't ask for one, because I want them to know that I know that it's important to connect the money back to the goal of the program. All right. Now, this is the slide here. Look, if you don't take anything else away from this webinar, this is it. I don't know if you have to do a screenshot, do whatever you need to do. You're going to get the replay, but this is the slide because this is as important, oftentimes more important than anything you write in the application. You need to meet with the foundation first. Yes, you need to meet with them first before you submit the application. You need to develop a relationship. Now, you want to meet with them because oftentimes in this meeting, they're going to give you insight into that grant that is not even on their website. And they want to meet with you. They want to know who they may be giving their funding to. I probably set up 1,000 of these. I always remember one, like a 30-minute Zoom meeting, my client got $30,000, 30-minute Zoom meeting, because the mission's aligned, right? And yes, I said Zoom. These are Zoom meetings. The only time you're going to go in person is if the foundation is in close proximity to where you live, but these are 30-minute Zoom meetings. right? So I know some of you are like, Linda, this may work. I don't know this, but I don't have time. I don't have time to write these grants. Remember what I said to you at the beginning, that some of these grant applications are 2 and 3 pages. And with AI now, we're going to talk about AI in a minute. With AI now, oh my gosh, like that excuse is gone, because you can use AI to write lightning fast applications. All right. But I have a question for all of you that, you may still be thinking, I don't know. I don't think I have time. I would like an answer in the chat. Here's the question. Do you have time to get free money? Does anybody have time to get free money? Let me see in the chat. I don't think anybody has time to get free money. It doesn't seem like anybody has. Oh, I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes, yes, yes. I'm saying yes, yes, yes. I'm saying absolutely. I'm saying indeed. So it sounds to me, oh, I'm saying I got all the time in the world. It sounds to me like you got some time to get free money. So if that's the case, I need for you to spend just a little time on the process, to get the free money. All right. Now, someone asked me a question. I'm going to let you know quickly before we get to the next slide. You sent an email to the foundation. In the email, you are describing your organization. You are aligning what you do to where they give. So you align that mission, you align that program to where they are giving in that email. Whatever you do, don't ever, ever, ever ask for money in the email. Don't ever do that. That is a quick way to get a rejection letter. You're asking for a meeting. In the meeting, you're asking for money. Got that? Now, it's time to find the grants, grant research. The Foundation Directory Online is the leading source of information on grants in the United States. Now, they don't give you a list of grants, they give you the organizations that will fund your program. So if you're in Detroit and you have a program where you help veterans get into transitional housing, you plug that in, you will get a list of organizations that fund that type of program. FDO, or also called Candid, is $50 a month to subscribe, or free access at your local library. Yes, library, free access. Grants.gov, that's the source of federal grants, right? Lilly Foundation, yes, if you are a church or a faith-based organization, there's money for you. Even Walmart gives to churches. Grant Watch, $20 a week or $200 for the whole year to search. And they give you the actual grant synopsis and the application and the contact information. That's all Grant Watch. But I love Grant Station too. They're $200 for the whole year. And they also give you information about the funder and the grant, because this is about more than just using Google. You need to choose a resource where you're going to get information specifically about grants. And then we have urbanawarenessusa.org. They're Black owned. They have a lot of grants or a lot of information about grants and how you apply in their regular sessions. And it's free. Sign up for their free newsletter. They're great. You can tell them Linda sent you. Now, let me show you how you use one of these, Grant Watch. They're only $20 a week. So spend your $20, get you a list of grants. In the middle there, check whether or not you are a nonprofit or a business. And then to the left, you start putting in your filters. Who are you serving? What is your industry? What is your area? Who is your target population? And then where do you live? You push a button, you get a list of grants. Let me say something to all of you about location, because some of you are leaving money on the table. You need to be meeting with your local organizations, your local corporations, your local community foundations. It's easier to get grant money from local sources. It's much easier. But whatever you do, don't leave out your national grant makers, right? You do both. There could be a grant maker in Texas and they're giving money to you and you're in Tennessee. All right. And to my international friends, this is absolutely for you as well. You don't have to be stationed here in the US. You could live in Africa and serve a population in Africa and get grants. All right. So this is not just for US organizations. Or you could live here. You could live in Ohio and have a program in Belize and search for grants. All right. Now, this is just a small, quick list, just so that you know there are still grants for you, specifically for women, right? HelloAlice.com, they oftentimes will list grants for women-owned businesses. Main Street, do you have like a brick and mortar? Right? Amber grants for women, they're giving away $30,000 every single month. Do you want a larger amount? 37 Angels. Maybe you need an angel investor because they give up to $150,000 solely to women businesses. I Fund Women, they have a lot of different international grants. Maybe you are a startup. Sky's the limit. They specialize in startup grants. Maybe you're a small nonprofit. Amarillo is just for you because they're out of Texas. All they do is give money to super small organizations because you might be thinking, Linda, it's just one of me. I'm a solopreneur or I'm the only person in the office with the nonprofit. There are organizations tailored to you as a small organization. And guess what? You might be saying, Linda, I don't have some huge organizational chart. I don't even pay myself. Do you know that all volunteer nonprofits can get grant money? I don't want you to be discouraged because it's just you, but it really should never be just you. It should never be just you, right? Because there are ways for you to get help, and some of it is free, right? Excuse me. For example, go to your local community college. Get interns. Not every intern wants to be paid. Some interns, they just want the experience. Ask for volunteers. You have to ask for the help that you need so that you're not doing this alone, because that is how you get burnt out. But as you see, you can be small and get grants. Now, really quickly, I want you to put into the chat, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about banks? Banks and money. Banks and money. Let me know. Banks, banks, banks and money. What comes to your mind when you think about banks and money? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Banks and money. Funding, loans, paying it back, partnerships, savings, investments. I did say Candid. So Candid, C-A-N-D-I-D, that's the new name for the Foundation Directory Online. But if you go to their online portal, you're going to go to Foundation Directory Online. It's not going to say Candid. I don't want you to be confused. They changed their name to Candid, but they didn't change their website. All right, so you're going to be looking for FDO, Foundation Directory Online. Now I'm saying savings, investments. Did you know that banks are some of the largest providers of grant money? Grant money. This is why I'm trying to get you to understand not all grant money comes from the federal government. Banks, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? At this point, billions of dollars are coming from banks, grant money that you don't pay back. It doesn't have to be your bank. It could be a bank with a great presence in your community, maybe a regional office or headquarters office. We're in Ohio. One of the largest foundations in Ohio is the Key Bank Foundation. I'm giving you 4 hot leads: Truist, TD Banks, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. They all give to nonprofits and for-profits. All right. All right. Now, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT. Let's talk about it. It is phenomenal. It is not coming. It is here. Be careful, people. Please do not think there's some magic button that you push and poof, you get the perfect grant application because the AI. No, that's not even how AI works. You have to feed AI. There's no getting around you being able to understand and write about your mission, your need statement, your project, your service, your programming, your target population, and nobody can say that but you. This is how people get in trouble, right? Because you know there are foundations that can detect. They have software they can detect if you just use all AI. Use your own words to describe your organization. Nobody knows it better than you. And then you feed that information into AI so it can help retool and rewrite your words so that you're putting forth the best proposal, right? But this all happens best when you are in a community that can help you, right? And so speaking of this need for you to be able to truly write the basics just the basics about your organization. I come to my bonus surprise. I've written a grant writing course that will help you do this because this is important. This is how I won $17 million. I have provided every single part of a grant application in this course. And here's what gives you the advantage. It includes my coaching, right? 17 years, over $17 million. It includes my coaching to get you where you need to be. Now, the course will teach you how to write every part of a grant application. I will teach you how to do the grant research. The course will teach you that. But here's where the coaching comes in. We have a private Facebook group. You come into the Facebook group and you ask the questions, right? So let's say you're meeting with the foundation. Do you know what to say? Do you know how to say it? Do you know what to bring? That's where my coaching comes in. You come and you ask, and I will give you that advice. I will let you know what you should be doing and what you should be saying when you meet that foundation. The course will teach you how to write your budget. But do you know how much to ask for? Or whether it should be program, project, or operating money? You come into the Facebook group, you ask. I will give you that advice. I have others in there as well. So you're doing this in a community of support, and that is what you need, because this is a framework, right? This is a proven framework that I am offering. This is how I was able to win over $17 million. Now you get 12 modules and 35 lessons. This is not some YouTube all video course. I'm asking you questions, and these questions were taken from real grant applications because part of my job was to build grant applications and to write the grant questions. So when you're answering these questions in my course, you're answering questions from a real grant application. And when you are done with my questions, you have a phenomenal grant template. You're going to take it and you're going to start applying to grant after grant after grant, because it's going to be an in-depth template, because you will have worked in a community where you get the support, you get your questions answered. So you're going to provide these great answers to every single question that will put you in the best light when you start applying for grants. And yes, you do get real grant examples as well. Now, here's the course bonuses. I'm doing something nobody else in the country is doing. I'm giving you a list of over 600 organizations that provide grants. I talked about the private Facebook group. It's everything. It's all collaboration, no competition. The students want every other student to win grants. Seriously. And the collaborations, people will come in there and maybe they're at that accounting firm and they'll say, are there any other accounting firms? I'm a daycare center. Are there any other daycare centers? And you want to know where there are grants? There are recent new grants in the Facebook group. I drop them, and I think the students even drop more than I do. And then so that you get the help you need. I don't want you to be stuck. I want you to be in a community of support. I give you an hour of group coaching, personal with me, live every single month. Group coaching call. Make sure you're not stuck. Make sure you have exactly what you need. Now, this is where the course is valued. This is not what you're paying. This is very important for you to know. I've had my course audited 3 times now. It's at a university level, but it's easy to follow. But the 12 modules and 35 lessons were $3,549. The videos were $599. The funders list, I'm doing work for you, worth $499. The workbooks, the planners, the grant trackers worth $350. But this is what I need for you to see. And please don't be confused about the value of the course based on what you're paying, because this is what I decided to do. This is how I serve my community. I know this course is helping organizations every day to get grants, so I need to make it affordable, because I'm not going to be just another hurdle or another challenge that you have to figure out how to get over to get this grant money. So this is a super, super low price. It's not $5,000. It's normally $997. But I know people have been struggling, so it's been reduced to $497. I'm trying to make it affordable for you, right? And that's what people pay. But you came on the webinar, and I know you could have been somewhere else at 7 o'clock tonight. So you're getting it for an additional $200 off. You get the $5,000 course for $297. That's not every month. That's one and done. I have other services, right, that provide me significantly more income. This I'm keeping cheap because it will help you to get grant money. And that's what I know I'm called to do at this point, right? But keep in mind, you've got to use a little code because even I can't keep it at 297, but I can keep it at 297 for 3 days, long enough for you to be able to get it. So use your code MAY12. And if you want 2 months to pay, you've even got 2 months to pay, $175 a month. Use your code MAY12 with a little T for 2-month payment plan, little T there. MAY12T. And yes, the course never expires. I said I was here to help you. The course never expires. So yes, you're going to get the replay. You'll get the replay so that you can come back to it again and again and again, and you'll get the course so that you can come back to the course again and again and again, right? So you get the full course, Facebook group coaching, write everything off. Everything's tax deductible. If you're a nonprofit, write it off. If you're a for-profit, write it off. And you even get a certificate of completion. So if you're interested at all in being in a community where I can coach you and help you to get grant funding for less than $300, this is your opportunity. The link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. So if you want to buy the course for $297, that's one and done. This is what you do. Oh, by the way, I have a little bonus. I have an extra bonus. Remember we talked about AI? It's here. It's not coming. I wrote an intro guide, 10 steps to easier and faster grant writing. I'm taking away the excuse that you don't have time because AI will give you time back. It's $200. You get it for free. You get it for free, right? It's part of the $297. You don't pay for it. All right. Now, if you want to pay the $297, you have a link in the chat. Click your link. You'll see this page here. Hit the purchase now for $497 because you have a coupon. It will take you to this page here. There's your coupon. Hit have a coupon. Input your coupon. MAY12. It will take off $200. You will be paying $297. That's it. You're one and done. That's for the course and the coaching and the Facebook group. Now, if you want to meet with me separately, privately, that's a coaching session. That's a private coaching session that I offer. It is a strategy session. And I get you together in an hour. If you come to me, you have 10, 12, 20 ideas, you will leave with one. I do an assessment of your mission, your vision, your infrastructure, your target population, and your programming. And I even give you a little list of national and local grant opportunities and resources to contact in your community. It's $495 because you get the notes and you even get the video and you get a clear way forward because you met with me privately. The only time you'll see it reduced for $195, that's less than half price. You have to buy it with the course. Other than that, you'll be paying the $495, which is well worth it. But you can get it for $195. Just add it to the $297. All right. And we even have Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna. 4 months same as cash. Let's say you just buy the course for $300, $297. Divide it into 4, that's $75 a month, people, for you to place yourself in a position to start getting grant money, free money. I don't even know of a $75 grant. And you've got to be able to invest just a little in this organization that you're wanting to flourish. So it's 4 months same as cash. Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna. If you want to take advantage of that, when you click the link, put in your coupon code, get to your $297. If you want the one-on-one, you can. And then you start clicking pay another way in this payment method until you see Affirm or Klarna. If you do the drop down, you'll see Afterpay. All right. That's only for those that want 4 months same as cash. Now, if you want to, you can pay with a credit card or PayPal or Google Pay, right? It's up to you. We try to make it easy. Now, remember I said we offer a little 2-month payment plan. We still do. It's 2 times $275. You click it. You input your coupon code. What was that? MAY12 with the little T. It will take off $100. You're paying $175 a month for 2 months and you're done. And yes, you can still add on the coaching. I want everybody to look at this slide because this is important. Whitney didn't think she would get any grants, right? She did exactly what I'm teaching you to do. All of these people, by the way, they just bought the course. So for less than $300, she won over $200,000 in the course of a year. She's saying, I can now be a salaried employee of my business. Isn't that what we want? But she did what I'm teaching you to do. She started local, $40,000 from the Southern Power Fund. Then she went national, $50,000 from the National Birth Equity Collaborative. She has a doula organization, but she didn't try to do this herself. That's where you get frustrated thinking, oh, okay, I got the information. Let me just try to go out and do it. What is keeping you accountable? And then you never do. And then you get frustrated because you're still digging in your pocketbook, in your purse for money, right, to fund your organization without being in a proven framework with help. Kanisha, $100,000 3 months ago. 2 weeks ago, Kimberly, $84,000. Cherie, 2 weeks ago, $11,000. This was her second grant from the same organization. Here's a hint. Once you get a grant, always go back for more. Always increase your grant amount when you go back, always. $20,000 therapeutic massage, a massage company in Charlotte. They said, we are so very thankful and grateful for your course. It's been life-changing. What could you do with $20,000? They said it's been life-changing for their organization. Christina, online educating consultant. No, you don't need a brick and mortar. You don't need a physical store. You can be all online. Pranisha got $750 from Walmart. Now that's a small amount, but guess what? It paid for her the course and then some. But even more importantly, she now has won money from Walmart. So when she goes back for year 2, absolutely, she'll ask for a lot more. Emily won the LegalZoom grant. Now I have a boot camp. This was my last one. If you want something more intense, it's 2 months worth of work in 2 days. We can set up a date for the next one. This just happened to have been the last one. I held one February 27th and 28th. Keisha attended. 6 weeks later, Keisha had her first grant. She had never written a grant before, by the way. 2 weeks after that, which was about 2 weeks ago now, she received a $100,000 grant. This is a person that had never written a grant before, but she took the boot camp. And when you take the boot camp, you literally leave with a completed grant application ready to submit. 2 days of work, I get you together. You leave with a grant application. You leave with a grant template. You leave with knowing how to use AI. You leave with your partnership list. Yes. You leave with your implementation plan. You even leave with a list, a full list of grants. So it's $1,997 or 2 payments of $1,249. You book it with me and we set up a date. And if you need more information, you send me an email. Melissa, if you could please just put your email, put my email into the chat. We're done. We are done. It is Q&A time. But before we get to the Q&A, before you leave, there's something I need for you to do. I need for you to do it for you and not for me, because there are hurdles and roadblocks being placed in your way. Like, it's go time. It's time to get this money. Remember what I said at the beginning? There's an opportunity that exists right now that wasn't even there at the beginning of the year for you to apply for these grants. But please don't try to do this yourself. For less than $300, get expert help. I know my course should be $2,000. My coaches tell me that all the time, but I won't do it. Because by keeping it low, I can help more people. All right, so I need for all of you right now to place into this chat, I am ready to get grant money. Do this for you. Like, don't do it because I'm saying do it. Do it for you, because I want you to be in this mindset. It's go time. It's go time. That's right, Sheila. I'm ready. I'm ready, right? It's go time. Brandy, I'm ready to get grant money. Pamela. Oh, you should be able to apply the code, right? Oh, all lowercase. Now, to pay the $290, I'm going to do this live. Pamela, Selena, I'm ready to get grants now. Brandy, yes. Let me show you live. I'm going to show you live what you do. And that should cut back on any confusion. All right. I'm going to do this live really quickly. Then I'm going to get to the Q&A. All right. I'm going to share my screen. All right. You want to buy the course? You want to pay $297? Click purchase now. Click purchase now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Click purchase now. There we go. You put in the code, right? Lowercase. That is important. Lowercase. MAY, I believe I gave you 1-2. You hit apply. You see it took off $200. You're at $297. You want to add the coaching. You click the box to add the coaching. Now you're at $492. You don't have to add the coaching. Let's remove it. You're at $297. Now let's say you want the 4-month same as cash. Input your email address, get your account going, and then you click these boxes. Click the payment boxes until you see Affirm or little K for Klarna or Afterpay, or just pay with your credit card, right? The full amount. This is only if you want the 4-month same as cash, do you click Affirm or Klarna or Afterpay. Other than that, we'll take Cash App and Google Pay and a credit card. You see that? MAY12, all lowercase. Now, if you want the 2-month payment plan, that's where you're putting in the little T. Have a coupon. MAY12 with the little T. You hit apply. You see how it took off $100? You're paying $175 a month for 2 months. So this is how you buy the course, and you can always add on the one-on-one if you would like. All right, so hopefully that cleared it up. All right, all right. So that might have been what you were doing. Maybe you were putting in the, make sure you put in the right code. If you want to pay the $297, it's MAY12. That's it. If you want to make the 2-month payment plan, excuse me, click the right one. Click 2 times 275. That's the 2-month payment plan. And then put in your MAY12 with the little T for 2-month payment plan. But before we do anything else, we have to give Artie some love. Artie bought the course. This is important. I need to see some clapping of hands and some hearts for Artie. Artie, you're on your way. And this is what I'm going to do for you, Artie, and everybody else that buys this course tonight. Remember I talked about the group coaching call? That's once a month. I recently had it, and I don't want you waiting until the next group coaching call to get help from me directly. So when you get into the Facebook group, I'm going to ask you a question to give like a little synopsis about your organization. I'm going to literally give you some links to where you can find grants immediately, because I don't want you waiting. I want you to get this help right away, right? So that's what will happen when you get into the Facebook group. I want to help you immediately, and this will pertain to your specific organization, all right, so that you're not waiting. Now, for those of you who are buying the course, look for your emails. You will get them immediately. You'll get an email with your link to that important Facebook group. There'll be another link that will ask you to create your username and your password. This course is online. It is self-paced. That's why I love it. You go at your own pace. I want you to be comfortable, because when you are completely finished and you have that grant template, I want it to be a phenomenal template, because you're going to use that to start applying for grant after grant. That's why this makes it so much easier and faster, because you've done the template. All right. So look for your emails. You're going to get the emails, but I will see you in the Facebook group, Artie. Absolutely, Pamela. Absolutely, you can. Absolutely. If you need your link, so Pamela's asking if she could use her course from last year. Remember I said what? What did I say? No expiration date. So Pamela, if you need the link to get back into your course, send us an email. Melissa, if you could please put my email address into the webinar chat, Everybody, please put this email into your email contact list and your safe senders list. This is important because when I send you the replay, I don't want it going to your spam folder. So just place my email address into your safe senders list, right? And that way I'll make sure that you're going to get it. All right. All right. So you can try again, Pamela, right? So MAY12, if you want to make the one payment, MAY12 with a little T if you want to make the 2-month payment plan. But you have to hit separate, they're different links. All right, different links. All right, it's Q&A time. Let me start with the Q&A. When requesting a relationship building meeting, how do you navigate around the gatekeepers to get the decision makers? Excellent. This is why I have all little tricks of the trade. So when you come into the course, I can show you many different ways to get around those gatekeepers, right? I've been doing this for 17 years. I know how to get around the gatekeepers, right? And there's a method, there's a way, right? But I often use different tools, right? But this is where the email is important. You need the email address. This is why I do not want you sending these emails to info at ABC Foundation info. No, you need a direct email address. And there's a software program that I share with the students that they can use that will get them any email address anywhere in the world. Like that's the information that you get, right? This is why I said at the beginning, this course and my coaching will place you on the path to getting funding, to getting funded. All right. But let me give you another just quick piece of advice. LinkedIn can be a very good friend. LinkedIn can be a very, very, very good friend, but get that email. Get the email of the program officer or the program director, right? And we can show you how you go about getting specific emails of anybody around the world. All right. All right. That was the question in the Q&A. Let me go to the webinar chat. I saw several, so I'm going to take my time and move down to make sure I'm answering all of the questions. I'm absolutely tired of being told no and working to support my own business. Well, there's a reason why you're getting rejected. There's a reason. You buy the course, you come into the Facebook group, and you are allowed to introduce yourself. Like you can come in and say, I'm Jane Doe. I've been applying for grants. I keep getting denied. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing wrong? You can put in some information about your organization, and I'm going to respond, right, to your post. However, if you want a real deep dive, you can buy the $195 one-on-one, and then we're going to get to absolutely the root of what's going on, because then I'm going to ask you to bring those rejected grant applications to the meeting so that I can take a look at them and find out what's going on. Should you have even applied to those grants? Were those the right grants for you? Did you truly showcase why you are different in that grant application? This is where a lot of you go wrong. You've got to be able to show how you are different. I want to give you an example. I have a designer who is a student. She's a designer. She designs, phenomenal clothes. And she has an LLC. But you know what she did? She created a nonprofit. And with the extra fabric that she has from her clients' designs, she makes clothes for the homeless. Do you think she's getting grant money? That's how she set herself apart. All of you need to be doing something. It doesn't have to be anything that drastic, but I don't know what your business is, but what is it that you are doing different? Why would I give you grant money over the next person? What is it that you're doing different? And I help you to determine that. And it's amazing. The one-on-one meetings, I have to say this, like this is not even planned, but in the one-on-one meetings, this happens all the time, where I extract out of you what you are doing different as an organization, because there's always something, and it's that extra something that when you put on that grant application is going to be the difference. All of you have it, right? All of you have it. Having a lady who was in my coaching program, she has an online company where she creates like journals and jewelry and candles. I'm thinking, okay, there are a lot of other organizations doing the same thing. What's making you different? And then the more she talked, the more she realized, oh my gosh, I donate a percentage of my profit to a homeless shelter. Like, well, there you go. That's it, right? And this is for all of you, right? And I can get you there if you allow us to help you, right? Because I know your frustration. It's not nice getting a rejection letter. But here's another clue. It could be the best thing that ever happened to you if you use it the right way. If you use that rejection letter the right way, it can be the best thing that ever happened. The best thing that ever happened by getting that rejection letter. Because when you get that rejection letter, you always, always, always meet with the foundation and ask why they rejected you. That information is going to be paramount for you getting approved the next time. So you use it as a lesson. You do better the next time. You'll be placed in the best possible position because they literally told you what you need to do, right? If they've told you why they rejected you, they're telling you what you need to do to get approved the next time. Like this is literally a grant writing 101. Grant writing 101, right? But you learn these things by being in a community of experts that can help you get from, these constant rejection letters to actually being funded. All right, let's see. I'm going down slowly. I did receive my first grant. It was about to have 3 events. Excellent. Let's see. This is Chiffon, I think it is. Let's give her some love. She received her first grant. Like, I need to see some clapping of hands. Let's celebrate her. That's phenomenal. Everybody will get the recording either tonight or tomorrow morning. Everybody will get the recording either tonight or tomorrow morning. Do you have to have a 501c3 to get a grant? If you are a nonprofit, it is best. I'm not saying it's impossible that you can get grant money without a 501c3, but the overwhelming majority of foundations require that you have a 501c3 for your nonprofit. This is just for nonprofits. What about girls, specifically female athletes? What about girls and specifically female athletes? What about them? Tell me what you're asking. All right, let's see. Other. What if you have an LLC? You still need a 501c3? Absolutely not. So you don't have to have a website? You need a website. You need a website. But please do not let that don't let that be an excuse for you not applying for grants, because helloalice.com right now, if the sale is still going on, they were offering websites for $59. $59. helloalice.com. You can get a template. You can go to Wix. You can go to Squarespace, right? And get you just the outline, a template, and just complete it. And when you get the website, if you buy the course, you can come into the Facebook group and say, I have my new website. Can somebody take a look at it? Create a post. If I'm in there all the time. You'll be sick of seeing this face in the Facebook group. I'm in there all the time. If I'm in there, I will give you feedback about your website. Let's say you've started writing a grant. Now, this is on a volunteer basis. I have a file folder in the group. You can literally place maybe a couple of pages of your grant and say, can somebody just take a look at it? Or maybe copy and paste, excuse me, your first few paragraphs into a post. I have professional grant writers in the Facebook group. I have people with doctorates. Again, I'm in there a lot. You get the help. You do not have to do this alone anymore. All right. All right. Let's see. Let me see other questions. And remember your homework. 5 organizations that you're going to connect with. Pamela, send me the email and I'm going to give you the AI guide. That was the other that was the other Pamela. Pamela Perez. Excuse me, let's see. All right. Pamela, were you able to get through? We have to stop because we have to stop. We have to give Shaquelle. We have to give Shaquelle some love. Shaquelle was like, hold up, Artie, you are not leaving me behind. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of getting misinformation. I'm tired of getting wrong answers. I'm tired of using my own money. I'm tired of knowing not where to go. You don't have to do this anymore. Like, I got you, Shaquelle. The Facebook group, I will see you in the Facebook group to get you specific help. You've paid less than $300 for this, right? And I know that it's a $2,000 course. My coaches tell me that all the time. They think I'm crazy, but I am absolutely committed to not charging that for this course. I just won't do it. It's normally $997, right? You can get it right now for $297 with all those extra discounts, right? Because it's normally $997. All right. All right, let's see. Yes, you can, Pamela. I need to see some, that's right. I need to see some clapping of hands for Shaquelle. Absolutely. And some hearts. Absolutely. Shaquelle says, I am tired. I will see you in the Facebook group to get you some specific tailored help. All right. Excuse me. While I take another sip in the Q&A. What is the best grant for an automotive business? I'm looking into my own LLC. That's wide open. I need more information. You need to niche down. You need to know exactly what it is that you're going to be doing. This is what I talked about earlier. The more you're able to niche down, the easier it will be for you to get grants. Let's say you help the homeless, right? Homeless too, homeless veterans, excuse me, homeless moms. The more you niche down, the easier it is for you to get grants, right? So best grant for the automotive business, it depends. What are you doing? What are you doing in the automotive business? I have no idea what you're doing. Are you creating a transportation company? If so, who are you transporting? You can get grants based on who you're transporting, right? Let's say you're transporting the elderly to a hospital. Now you can look for grants that are geared for people in the transportation industry. Plus, you can seek other grants for those that help the elderly. See, the more you are able to describe what you do, the more grants you can apply for. That's how it works. And most of you, probably all of you, have multiple categories where you should be seeking grants, not just one, multiple categories, right? So let's say you're opening up a transitional house for veterans that are homeless, and you're part of this chat. There's 3 grants right now. Look for grants because you're a woman-owned business. Look for grants because you're providing transitional housing, right? That's the homeless. And then 3, you're helping veterans. There are separate grants geared specifically for those that help veterans. So those are 3 distinct categories. This applies to all of you, but you don't know that when you're not in a community that can provide you with the help that you need. All right. So what would be the best grant for geriatric people with medical and psychological challenges and need management services? So that's health and wellness, specifically in the mental health category. So it's not whether or not there's a grant for you. Just so you know, it's not whether or not there's a grant for you. It's, are you doing something legal? If you're doing something legal, if you're providing a legal service, there are grants. It's about where you find them. And that's where the course comes in, to be able to help you to determine where you find the grants. And again, there are multiple categories. Some of it is based on your target population. You're helping the elderly, that's a particular category, right? So it all depends. This is where the course will help you to pinpoint where you should be looking. Should you be looking for small business grants? And also look to your industry. You're in transportation, look to your industry. Find out whether or not airlines have grants, right? That's the transportation industry. Almost every major airline has a grant program. You want to open up a hair care salon, the Shea Moisture, right? They make shampoo and conditioner, same industry. They have a grant, especially for communities of color that open up hair care salons, same industry. So it's not a matter of whether or not there's a grant for you. It's a matter of you using a proven framework to find out where to find the money. And that's what we offer here. All right. I dropped my email address into the webinar chat. I've answered all of the questions. Mobile repair. Let's see, mobile repair for people who cannot get to repair their vehicles. So what's going to be different? There are other mobile repair shops. There are other mobile repair shops. What's different about yours? You said for people who cannot get help to repair their vehicles. What does that mean? Cannot get help. There's an automobile repair shop on every corner. What does that mean? Doesn't mean they don't have the money. So where do you come in? You can't provide services for free. Doesn't mean that your mobile repair shop is going to specifically help the disabled. Okay, now that's interesting. That's different, right? That's different. I'm in the hair care business. How so? Hair care, what does that mean? That's a wide open business. Do you produce hair care products? Do you have a hair care salon? Right? You should be applying for the Shea Moisture grant because they're geared towards organizations in the hair care business. I know friends who got that Shea Moisture grant. So again, in a deep dive, the email address is right there below your name, Pamela. Literally, it's right there. It's hello@grantwritingfornonwriters.com. That's where you're going to send the email so that you can get your AI guide. All right. I believe I've answered all of the questions. I hope to see you all in the Facebook group so that you can get this help, that you don't have to do this on your own or by yourself. You've got 3 days, by the way. You've got 3 days to get the additional $200 off. So you have until Friday. All right. You can pay the $497. People are very happy to do it, but why when you can only pay $297? It's less than $300. And my goodness, if you do the 4 months same as cash, is $75 a month. I keep it low to help more people. All right. But you got to invest just a little bit in yourself because people are waiting on your talents. Do you understand? People are waiting on your talents. Some of you have been waiting for a long time to manifest the nonprofit or the small business, right? And for many of you, this is like a dream, but it can be discouraging, right? When you're constantly hitting brick walls and you don't know why, or extra hurdles are being placed in your way, like what's happening now, right? With all of these cuts. But as I showed you, there's almost $200 billion being given out. And they're not affected by federal cuts. So this money is still available and is given away every single day. Every single day. So why not put yourself in a position to get it? I want to thank all of you for hopping on. I appreciate you taking the time, letting me know that you're serious, right? That's why you're getting this extra $200 off. The course is less than $300 because you hopped on and let me know that you need the extra help. And I appreciate that. And I'm here for it, right? I'm here to help you. So please spread this information. Let people know that these grants are available. Melissa, if you could drop the link, if anybody wants to sign up, people that want to sign up to a future grant webinar, Melissa, just drop the registration link, spread this information, let people know this money is available and there's help. There's help. This is important, right? For we as women, this is important, right? We got to look out for each other, right? So spread this information to somebody you know. If you know somebody with a small business or a nonprofit, right? Let them know there's grant money available. All right. So make sure you put my email address into your safe senders list because I don't want my replay and the information going to spam. For the next 3 days, you are going to get the email with the replay, with the link to the course, with the discount codes to the course so that you have the information. So hopefully by Friday, you're ready. I'll see you in the Facebook group. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I want you to keep going. I don't want you to stop. Keep moving forward. This is important. What you are attempting to do is important, right? And I want you to understand that. So don't stop. Regardless of what you're saying on TV, don't stop. Keep moving and know that there are people like me who are willing to help you. All right. So my name is Linda Peavy, and I've created the course Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys to Winning Grant Proposals, and founder of LaPath Consulting. So thank you so much for hopping on. I hope to see you over the course of the next 3 days. I want you to have a safe and a blessed evening and weekend, and just keep moving forward. All right. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. And be safe, and be encouraged. All right. Bye-bye.